Hello, this is Batman. Yes, the real Batman. I came to chill at the homie Siceman's house. Catwoman is driving me crazy. She's a little salty because Poison Ivy was being thirsty all in my DMs. It's hard to maintain a love life and save the world. But when I'm not fighting the Joker, Bane, Scarecrow, the Penguin, Firefly, Two-Face, or that nigga Clayface, I'm listening to WhatTheFudgePodcast in my Batmobile. Alfred, pull the car up. We're going to the dispensary, and then we're shutting the club down.
You're now listening to A-Rod Music.
What's goody, what's goody? Welcome back to What the Fudge. Hey man, what the fudge? What the fudge? Episode number 8. This is your host, Sice Man. I want to thank you guys for checking out this podcast once again. Thank you guys for going on my Instagram at WhatTheFudgePodcast. Thank you guys for going on my YouTube at WhatTheFudgePodcast, checking out them crazy cop videos and that first episode we finally got to put up. I want to thank the homie Batman for the intro. You know, I be having them hookups on the low, whether it's superhero, cartoon characters, political. It don't even really make a difference. I got the hookups. So Batman, I'm gonna need that Batmobile next time me and my wife want to go to the club. But anyway, let's go ahead and go into the first segment. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. Y'all know how this show goes. The first segment, which is the news. And the main thing in the news, I think we set a couple trends this week. Like I said, I don't really focus on the negative. I try to stay on some positive stuff. So I would have to say the first thing in the news that I found was the first black and African-American woman to own a NASCAR team, Melissa Harvell LeBron. Now, I don't think she related to LeBron James, but the names sound a little same. But check it out. She was the first woman and African-American person to own her own NASCAR racing team. Now, according to Black Enterprise, Harvell LeBron's experience with the race cars began when she took her sons to a NASCAR experience event at Charlotte Superspeedway with hopes of stopping them from taking up the sport. However, that didn't work. She said she had got invited, and then eventually she started looking, and she liked how the organization was. She said after realizing the lack of diversity in the sport, Harvell LeBron was motivated to invest and create E2 Northeast Motorsports under the umbrella of WM Stone Enterprises, Inc. Now, when I hear Northeast, because I'm from DC, I'm thinking of the Northeast Groovers or the Northeast. Nah, let me stop, y'all. So we want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Melissa Harvell LeBron for doing that. We wish her much success in what she's doing. And let's go to the next one, which is Jordan Peele. Actually, this weekend with the whole Oscars and everything, Jordan Peele became the first black screenwriter to win Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars Awards for Get Out. Now, if you haven't seen that movie, the movie is wonderful. I'm glad I ain't never been in that sunken place. Anytime I hear cups of tea being stirred, I make sure I get up out the way ASAP. So we want to give a big shout out to Melissa Harvell LeBron for setting that record. And we want to give a big shout out to Jordan Peele for setting his record. You haven't seen the movie, go check it out. And I haven't really watched NASCAR, but I'm going to definitely start checking it out from now on. Let's go ahead and go into our next segment, which is Dropping Game. And with Dropping Game, we're going to go ahead, like I said, with the final piece of the communication trilogy that we've been doing. We're going to talk about communication with friends. Now, just with that, you want to make sure, like I said, you're communicating with your friends. Any type of miscommunication, whether you guys are beefing or something happened, somebody done took something. I know how women like to borrow each other's clothes. Somebody done borrow some shoes or something. Make sure y'all get it all out in the air. And sometimes I've learned also that text message is not the best form of communication. Maybe for some people, but for others, it's not the best. So just pick up the phone and call make sure you keep that open communication, like I said, because sometimes you're more closer with your friends than you are with your family. So it's just good to keep that open line of communication, so there's no miscommunication as far as, oh, you did something I didn't like and then you holding it in. You got to be open, just as open as you are with family, just as open you are with your relationships. So the main thing is be open with friends, relationships, and family. Those are the three main things I really think communication is important on. And of course, that's going to apply in other aspects of your life, because in other aspects, you're definitely going to touch on communication with those people. So make sure you guys out there talking plain and simple. We're going to go ahead and go into our first commercial, which is, now speaking of the whole NASCAR, I was wondering if they was going to have like some ghetto sponsors by Hennessy or some different little ghetto. I was hoping they didn't stick to the stereotypical black stuff, but seeing as how I be having stuff on the low, we have some Ghetto NASCAR sponsors that we need to go ahead and let y'all check out. Let me know what y'all think.
We're live here at the NASCAR Indy 800 in Compton, California. And with the introduction of the first African-American NASCAR team owner, we would like to announce 4 new African-American NASCAR drivers. And we come with some very nice sponsorships. Let's take a listen. What's up, y'all? My name is Troy Johnson, and I'm being sponsored by the drink of all black houses since the 1990s. That's right. Kool-Aid, grape flavor.
Yo, I've been running from the police all my life, so, I figure why not do it legally? My name, Derek Smith. I'm sponsored by the Grape Flavor Swisher Sweet Blunts Company. How you think Barack Lips got black?
Hey world, it's your girl Lakeisha Thompson, and I've been doing laps around the competition in my Just For Me Perm sponsored race car, burning off edges since forever, and the track. Hey y'all, what's up? This is Champ, Trey, and I'll be seeing the checkered flags in my Popeye's fried chicken and Old English beer sponsored race car. All a nigga need. Hello, man. Hello, officer. What you mean, license and registration? No. I'm a race car driver. I'm actually racing right now in this NASCAR race tournament. Right now. Excuse me, officer. Why are you pulling me out the car, man? I'm not resisting.
And back from that, I told y'all, man, I was worried about that. I knew something like that was going to happen, man. I don't know. I'm making sure that I'm riding with the do-rag. Was there a do-rag in there? I don't even know if it was. That chicken and beer one sound good, though. But, yo, let's go ahead and go into the next segment, which is my favorite segment, What the Fudge. Hey, man, what the fudge? What the fudge? What the fudge? And the main topic, I think, this week, everybody's been talking about it. I didn't even get to see it, and I don't want to see it. We can keep that on the low. It's Safari's nudes. So apparently, Safari has some naked pictures of him leak online, and coincidentally, he also has an album coming out now. To me, it's so bad that all these rappers and everybody got to have a gimmick when they come out with music. They just can't just come out with music. I knew when the pictures came out, I already knew he was getting ready to come out with a single, and it's tasteless. He had all of the women and all of the, homosexual males and stuff going crazy. It's just funny because he's getting attention for this quick second, and then it's like, what's going to happen after that when he doesn't deliver? He been doing his rounds of interviews. He claims he don't know how it got leaked. Blah, blah, blah. We know that same. Y'all been leaking stuff for years and don't know how nothing got leaked. So I don't really like his music. His music's not really that good to me. It just seemed like he be trying too hard. That's just Sice Man's personal opinion. But I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Now we're going to go ahead and move into, we ain't going to talk about that too much because I ain't really into talking about all that. But we're going to go ahead and go into the Instagram comedian of the week. Now, last week we had Crazy Ha Davis. That dude is hilarious, man. That dude was really funny. A lot of his videos I put up had you guys rolling. Something is wrong with that brother. I really would say something is wrong with him. He needs some help. I hope you guys liked all of Ha Davis' stuff. But this week on episode 8 of What the Fudge Podcast, the Instagram comedian of the week is I Am Desi Banks. That's I Am Desi Banks. IAMDESIBANKS. This brother is hilarious. Another dude I want to see put in some movies and sketch comedy. I think he'll be very funny. I'm going to be posting stuff on Instagram this week. So go ahead and check that out at I Am Desi Banks for the Instagram comedian of the week on What the Fudge Podcast, episode number 8. Now let's go ahead and go into the next segment, which is Hip Hop and R&B Review. Now with the Hip Hop and R&B Review, of course, Offset released his Ric Flair drip video. If you ain't heard that song on the bestie, hey, I'm just trying to eat a little chesty. Hey, somebody said they want to arrest me. Whoa, wait a minute. But the song is tight. I really like it. I think the song is really good. The lyrics is tight. They showing you that they can do stuff by themselves. And the tightest part about it is that they got Ric Flair to actually be in the video. He looked a little off. He dancing a little old school and off. He looked like he a little off and don't know what he doing. I'm glad they went and paid homage to the OG like that and put him in the video, because Ric Flair is a beast when it comes to wrestling. He had the robes on in the video. They was rocking all of the ice. Had Ric Flair showing the Rolex. He had a little part where he was talking, doing his little spit talking. You gotta make sure you got a spit screen up about the size of your body when Ric Flair start talking, because it'd be flying. But the video is tight. I liked it. Once again, it's Offset Ric Flair drip. Check it out. It's on YouTube and everywhere else you see videos. Let's go ahead and go into, which is the next topic, Jay-Z and the Beyonce featuring Future Top Off. I haven't seen a video for it, but the song was released either Thursday or Friday. I didn't really like it. It wasn't really that good to me. It was annoying. The whole chorus with, I took the top of the Maybach. I took the top of the Maybach. It's like, come on, man. Say something else. Say something different. I didn't really like it. That's just Siceman's personal opinion. Jay-Z and Beyonce's verse, they was cool. It's not your typical hit like I thought it was going to be, but you can check it out. Like I said, it's on YouTube. I'm sure they're going to be playing it on the radio. The next topic is going to be the Chris Brown Tempo video. Now, if you haven't heard this song, Change Up the Tempo by Chris Brown, the song is really, really tight. I like it. It's a slow beat. The beats is tight. You can dance to it. And the video is kind of like a Mad Max meets the Future type of thing, where they got different characters like the Joker, the Mask, and the dancing is in it. It's tight. They going in old people's houses, freaking them old people out. I know the old people probably be watching their videos on the low anyway, but it's a tight video. I like the video. I think it's really good. You guys should go check it out on YouTube. That's Chris Brown, Change Up the Tempo. It ain't Change Up the Tempo, my bad. It's called Tempo. But you know what I'm saying. Speaking of all of that, let's go ahead. We got another clip from our exciting game show, What the Fudge Game Show. We have another great clip for you guys. Let's see. I think he done got himself another person, a contestant, or is it a hostage? I don't know. Let's go ahead and listen, y'all. Welcome back to another episode, of What the Fudge. I'm your host, as usual, Michael Macaroni, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode, y'all. As I've said, it's the only game show where your stuff is the prize, and you have to answer a few questions to see if you can win them back. Look, check this out. This week's hostage, contestant, comes from sunny California. Let's see, he enjoys Starbucks, sandwiches, and usually goes to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. according to my observations. But let's go ahead and introduce yourself to the crowd. Well, I think I heard you say your name is Thomas Jackson. I can't really tell because you gagged. Remember, you didn't want to stop screaming earlier for help. But anyways, let's get started. First question.
Offset from Migos dropped his single this week, Ric Flair Drip. The question to see if you get to keep your 2018 Tesla is, what wrestler was featured in the music video? Oh, I'm sorry. That's close. It sounds like you were trying to say woo. I don't know. I couldn't really tell. But look, the answer is Ric Flair. Well, thanks for the new car. Now let's go to our next and final question in the Death Round. Okay. How many black team owners are in the NASCAR organization? I'm sorry, how many? Are you saying 2? 3? Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's wrong again. But look, thanks for the new house up in them mountains. I always wanted to live up there. It looked great from the ghetto. But anyway, that's our show. But as usual, we're not going to send you home empty-handed. We will be sending you home with your teeth we knocked out. Oh man, this is great. Look, I'm your host, Michael Macaroni, and this is What the Fudge. Hey man, I'm on probation. Hurry up, they can't find this nigga. Make him disappear.
And we're back. Hey, bro, this dude is crazy, man. I don't know what he doing or why he doing all of this to these people. But, yo, make sure you don't get caught slipping. Watch your back at all times. Let's go ahead and go into the next segment of the show, which is the movie and TV review. Now, this week, Marlon Wayans' Wokish came out on Netflix. It's his stand-up comedy. You don't really get a lot of stand-up comedies from Marlon Wayans. I've never really seen him doing stand-up, more so just movies and TV shows. I thought it was pretty cool. It was alright. It wasn't really funny for like the first 30 minutes. Then he starts to kind of build up a little bit. He's more of a actor type funny to me. I know a lot of people kind of find him obnoxious and stuff like that and say he's loud, but I don't know. I really like Marlon Wayans' comedy. I've watched The Wayans Show growing up. That was funny. Mo Money was funny. I've always liked his stuff that he does, all of the scary movies and stuff like that. It's about an hour and a half stand up. He talks about his personal life. He's talking about, his family and just everything that's going on with him right now. I would give it out of 5 stars. I'd give it about a 3.5. It's worth watching. You know what I'm saying? If you're bored and ain't got nothing to do. And no disrespect to Marlon, I ain't saying he ain't funny either. But go ahead and check that out. Another thing on Netflix, because y'all know I'm a Netflix fan, would have to be Darren Brown, The Push. Now, the reason I say that is because the show it's really crazy. It's not what you think. It shows you how psychologically people can be swayed to do things, or people can be led to do stuff that they wouldn't normally do. If you have about an hour or a little over an hour, I think this movie is really, really good. They take about 4 contestants. You're only watching the actual live action of one contestant, but they go back and show you the results of the other 3 contestants. It's really, really, I like psychology and different stuff like that. So it's a great show to go check out. It's called The Push, Darren Brown, The Push on Netflix. Let's go ahead and go into the next topic. I finally got to see Black Panther, y'all. That movie, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That movie was off the chain, y'all. The action in it was tight. The storyline was tight. Costumes was tight. Everything in this movie is good. I'm going back to see it again. I'm taking my family back to see it again. It's definitely a movie you can have your family see. If y'all ain't seen it, you've been under a rock. Don't do the bootleg, because you ain't gonna get the full experience. And even when the DVD comes out, I still don't think you're gonna have the full experience of what this movie really represents. I like how they have the empowerment of women in it. They had the women soldiers in there that were strong. The little sister was very tech-wise. So it had a little bit of sci-fi. It had action. The fighting sequences. I think everything in this movie was great. I'm sure they're going to reach 1 billion. I can't wait until they come out with part 2. That's going to be the hard thing to top, is when they come out with part 2. I just think that they should create more movies like this. And I also believe that with the success of this movie, Hollywood, there's definitely going to be a demand for more movies like this. So with that, I give that 100% rating. Go see Black Panther, buy it, whatever you got to do, make sure you check it out. Let's go ahead and go into our next topic, which is shows and movies to recommend. This week, I want to go ahead. I watched this show on YouTube a lot, me and my wife. The show is hilarious. If you just need a pick up or laugh, they said they're coming out with the second season of it, because it's not really done by seasons, but it's on YouTube. It's ADD, which is All Deaf Digital, and it's Doughboy versus Teddy Ray. They have a series where, you know how you are with your friends, and sometimes you can be a little competitive with your friends, where let's see who can drink this beer the fastest, or I bet you can't run faster than me. It's exactly what that is. They sitting there doing certain stuff. They go from making songs to making music videos to cooking, dating, kissing. It is hilarious. Teddy Ray and Doughboy are a good comedy combination. If you need a good laugh, go to YouTube, ADD, Doughboy versus Teddy Ray. It's a whole series. Like I said, they're going to come out with a series 2, is what they said. And they need to, because that stuff is hilarious. Let's go into our last topic in this section, which is bring back a movie or TV show. Now with this one, I really had to think about it, because I be giving y'all good ones. Like I said, me and the homie Jones be giving y'all good ones. He's a little under the weather this week. That's why my co-host ain't here. But this week, I want to go ahead and recommend Inception. They need to bring back and redo Inception. They left us hanging with, was that really a dream? I didn't even know if that was really a dream or if it was real life. They didn't come out with a part 2 to let us know, if they developed anything extra. The people that did Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Hardy, all of y'all, please do another one, because we fiending for that movie. That movie is off the chisname, man. And that brings us to the last topic of our show, or the last segment, I should say, of What the Fudge Podcast, episode number 8, which is the bedtime story. So go ahead and get you guys blankets and everything, get nice and snuggly. This week's episode, we're going to have The Homie, Ugly Duckling, read by Sice Man. Oh my goodness, The Homie, Ugly Duckling. I bet you didn't know it could have a twist like this. Like I said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in for episode 8 of What the Fudge Podcast. You're trying to keep it short, like I said. Make sure you check us out on Instagram at WhatTheFudgePodcast. You can also check us out on SoundCloud at WhatTheFudgePodcast, YouTube at WhatTheFudgePodcast, and anything else, you can go to my Instagram, and I'm sure I have links there as far as what we doing, as far as the cops videos, episodes. We just want to keep you guys entertained, keep the show going. Like I said, give us feedback. Make sure you go to my Instagram, and you can also send my stuff to my email and let me know what you guys think. I thank you guys for tuning in to episode 8 of What the Fudge Podcast. This has been your host, Sice Man, and you guys have a good week.
The Homie, Ugly Duckling, read by Sice Man. Once upon a time, a homie, known as the Ugly Little Duckling, was very sad because he thought he was the ugliest nigga amongst all his brothers and sisters. They would not play PS4 or dominoes with him and tease the poor ugly homie. On one hood day, he saw his reflection in the water and said, "What the fudge? That's me? Dang, I see why nobody likes me. I'm so ugly and busted." He decided to leave the hood and went far away into the woods. Deep in the hoods of the forest, he saw a townhouse in which there lived an old dope fiend, her alcoholic hen, and her meth addict cat. The duckling homie stayed with them from time to time, but he was unhappy there and soon left because they kept trying to eat him. When winter set in, the poor duckling almost froze to death, but his goose-down North Face jacket kept him going. Finally, spring arrived. One day, the duckling homie saw a beautiful, thick, big-booty swan swimming in the pond and fell in love with her. But then he remembered how everyone made fun of him. Like Yuck Mouth, they called him Jerome in the face, they called him Goonie Goo Goo Face, and he bent his head down in shame. But when he saw his own reflection in the water, he was astonished. He was not an ugly homie anymore, but a handsome young gangster swan. Now, he knew why everyone in the duck hood was hating on him, and why he had looked so different from his brothers and sisters. They were ducklings, but I was a baby swan gangster the whole time, just in the wrong hood, he said to himself. He got his gear tight, got his paper right, then asked the big booty swan who he saw earlier on a date. After seeing what he was on the inside rather than the outside, she married the handsome GQ gangsta swan, and they lived happily ever after. The end.